And thank you for joining us tonight for the championship pitch of the year. Start off tonight by thanking our host location, Newport News, and also big thanks to the cities of Hampton, Williamsburg, and Poquoson, and James City County and York County.
Yeah, we have a great night lined up for you all. Thank you for joining us. Pitchers, judges, those watching, thank you so much. So, in less than 2 hours, we're going to find out who the top three pitchers are of 2024 for Hampton Roads. So, it is the championship pitch. 12 founders are going to pitch. So, some background for everybody. This encompasses the top three pitchers from each of the four micro pitch competitions that we had throughout the year. We had a micro pitch in March. We had another one in May, another one in September, one in October. So what we're witnessing here tonight is the top pitchers of the year. This is the last stop. Good luck to you all. Gary, before we get started, what are the rules?
Yeah, we have a couple of requests. One is if you want to chat with somebody in the session here, that we just ask you to not try to chat with them while they're pitching. It might be distracting, and we don't want to do that. If you do want to go in the chat feature and speak to somebody afterwards, after they're not actively engaged, then just go direct with them, and you all know how to do that in the chat feature. Just go direct with that person, and you can connect. And we appreciate you honoring those requests. And so, as Tim said, we have 12 pitchers tonight, and the way this goes is that each pitcher has 3 minutes to pitch their business, and then that will be followed by 2 minutes of Q&A with the judges. And the way the Q&A works is that three of the five judges will ask their questions one after another, and then the pitcher will have 2 minutes to answer the questions that have been asked. So those of you who are pitching, be sure you have a way to take notes as the judges ask their questions, and remember to not start answering until the third judge has asked their question. And then, Tim, speaking of judges, who are the judges
Mhm.
tonight?
Yes, Gary. We're going to warm up the crowd. We'll warm up the pitchers. We're going to give the judges a 60 seconds to introduce themselves. Yeah, we're not going to time this, but just be respectful. We got a lot of pitches to get through, but really can't thank the judges enough for everything that they have done for them to dedicate their time. We spend a lot of time bringing on the best judges that we possibly can. So all these pitchers that you'll hear from tonight, chances are they're going to need to talk to one, if not all of these judges as part of their next step in their entrepreneurial growth. So that's why we asked these judges here tonight so that they can see firsthand the pitchers. But with that said, I want to introduce our judges. First up is Rachel Wilson. Rachel, please introduce yourself.
Hi, and thank you so much, Tim, and the rest of the Peninsula team for having me. I'm Rachel Wilson. I'm partnered at the BFM Fund. We are a early stage venture fund that is headquartered in Virginia, started out of Portland, Oregon, but we are very vested into the Commonwealth of Virginia and wanting to see Black businesses specifically in all different industries thrive. And so I'm here to be able to support that. Thank you for the time and looking forward to meeting all the rest of the judges as well as the founders.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rachel. Next up is Sabrina.
Hey everyone, my name is Sabrina Hamill. I am the newest program manager at Sun 57 CoLab. Just started my position in July, so I'm very excited to be part of this event today. This is my first one. I have a background in mechanical engineering, but as my role as the program manager of Sun 57 CoLab, I'm running the new Capital Readiness Program. It's a program that is allowing for founders in the Hampton Roads area to gain access to accounting, finance, and legal resources. Again, really excited to be here today and really looking forward to seeing everybody pitch.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Carlton Campbell, you are next. Please
Hello,
introduce.
everyone. Yes, thank you, Tim. I'm Carlton Campbell, owner of Heart and Mind Transformations, a life and business coaching business. I spent 35 years in the field of information technology, and I am a serial entrepreneur. I love what I see on the screen here, all these wonderful entrepreneurs who are presenting tonight. I'm so excited to be a part of this effort. I'm serving a second term on the Economic Development Authority for the City of Hampton, which is also a passion of mine. So for me, this is my Toys R Us, and I'm excited to be here tonight. So I look forward to hearing your pitches tonight.
Thank you so much, Carlton. Next up is Steve Du Bois. Steve.
My name's Steve Du Bois. My background's electrical engineering and law. I actually own 8 companies in various businesses and invest in a lot of others, and have been doing this for a long, long time. And I love startups. I just love them, and can't wait to hear the pitches tonight. So that's kind of who I am.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve. And Gary, if you would please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name's Gary Grenter, and thank you, Tim, for inviting me tonight. I always look forward to these type of events. I am a mentor in the ICAP program and an instructor in that program. I'm also a mentor in residence at George Washington University. I've been doing the ICAP program since 2018, so I guess I've earned all that gray hair. And I've done 4 startups of my own. Uh, 2 had reasonable exits, one's still going, and the other is a big smoking hole in the ground in Silicon Valley. So I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. So really looking forward to hearing everybody's pitch tonight and get to know everybody. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gary. All right, everyone. So the way the program is going to work this evening, we're going to have the first 6 pitchers go. Then we're going to take a short break. So if anyone needs to just take care of any business they can, well, we're going to return. The final 6 pitchers will then pitch. At that point, we're going to whisk the judges off into their deliberation room. Judges, you will get a link in your chat where to go for that. Once the deliberation is done, you'll come back here. We'll announce those winners, and then we'll celebrate. Um, During that time, we are going to have a cool conversation with Tajir Lewis. He's 2022, one of the winners from Star Peninsula. If you don't know who he is, he's from Aunt Carol's Sauce. Super cool story. So we will dive into that. The judges will come back. We'll share the winners, and that will be the night. So, as a reminder to everybody, we know you're nervous, so consider this as a friendly reminder when it's your turn to pitch. Unmute yourself, share your screen. Once your pitch is done, stop sharing your screen. The judges are going to ask their questions. After the last question is done, not the first, after the last question is asked, go ahead and answer all those questions. When you're done, mute your mic, and we'll just repeat until we're done. So, Gary, let's get started.
Okay. So first pitcher for the night. Everybody's ready to go. Catherine, are you ready?
Yep.
Share your screen, and then I'll give you the big announcement and big introduction, and then you're ready to go. Just tell me when you're ready. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, everybody, please welcome Catherine Reback from Seed Sisters.
Every month, I watch so many of my friends and sisters succumb to the crippling pain of their premenstrual syndrome, to the point that they end up kind of curled up in a ball and they just hide away from the world for a day or two. And a guy told me that he felt like he was suffering from secondhand PMS because his girlfriend was having a rough couple of days. But women shouldn't have to live in pain, and the people around them shouldn't have to suffer because of it either. And that's why Seed Sisters was born. According to NIH, over 90% of women experience some different types of premenstrual syndrome. And according to my customer discovery interviews of 167 women, over 80% of these women had at least 3 different symptoms. And over 80% of them also resorted to some form of medication, like hormonal or different pain medications, to no avail, even though these have a lot of detrimental long-term effects. Before Seed Sisters, there was no easy, risk-free way to get to the root of the problem and help promote hormonal balance. Now, seed sisters are little bite-sized bars that have all the essential nutrients necessary for women to practice seed cycling daily. It's from the ancient practice of Ayurveda, and it's all about eating 4 different seeds that help promote hormonal balance. But traditional seed cycling, it it's really time consuming and it's messy. And the competitors are just selling bags of ground seeds. Whereas with Seed Sisters, we have it all in one nice portable and tasty bar, which is the problem with the other ones. The taste can be horrible. So it's simple and delicious and gluten-free, vegan, paleo, and nut-free. So the seed bars, they're sold in 28-day subscription sets, so 14 bars and 14 bars. And we estimate it to be about $55 per set of 28 bars. So we think our annual gross revenue will be about $660,000 per 1,000 customers. So we would be doing all right with a 50% target margin for the food industry. I'm Catherine Reback, and I'm the founder of Seed Sisters. I'm a student at William Mary and a passionate yoga teacher. My mom is a nutritional therapist, and I have three sisters. So this is the right product at the right time for a potentially massive market, hopefully almost half the world from women 12 years old all the way through menopause and beyond. But in order to validate this, we've done a lot of customer discovery interviews and we've developed the bar and did a pilot test with these lovely ladies right here. And they had great outcomes, as you can see from their quotes, some even referring to it as being a life-changing experience. But going to market, we really think our market will be a young professional women who are health conscious. And we've been growing traction with a wait list and hoping to add new flavors in the future and different ingredients to expand. So an update from where I was last time, I have completed self-testing and we're finalizing home production and going to market. I'm planning on going through social media channels for health and wellness and yoga studios and fitness clubs and farmers markets in the local area. And I intend to fund this all through prepaid 3-month packages like the trial and potentially crowdfunding. So I need your vote to keep going forwards, and I hope you see how big of a dream and how big possible this can be. Thank you very much.
And that's time. Perfect timing.
Okay, thanks. Judges, are you ready to go? We're going to start with Rachel.
Oh, that was really lovely. When I was reading about it, I really enjoyed understanding a little bit about the story and how it actually helps with hormonal balance. I had a question or two questions. One around how many people were in the trial period that you had, like, and tasted it, have given feedback on the product, and then secondly, you had mentioned go to market. Is there an e-commerce plan at all for the product?
And next we'll go to Sabrina.
Yeah, thank you. What are the metrics you use to measure your customer satisfaction? I know you mentioned you were talking with a lot of people and they really liked it. I would like to know what those metrics are.
And finally, Carlton.
Yeah, another great presentation. What I'm curious about is really the timeline associated with the product launch. I know that you say you're going to be getting out into farmers markets and other aspects, but over the next year, if you can just kind of talk to us a little bit more about how you plan to get the word out. I know you're going to social media, but I really want to get into some specifics. First quarter, what do you plan to do? Second quarter, et cetera.
Okay, Catherine, Tim's going to put 2 minutes on the clock for you, and you may answer those questions.
All right, so starting with Rachel. So for the trial period, we had 15 women who purchased bars for 3 months, and we actually had we have a wait list going. At the moment, we're up to about 60, but for the trial, we had 30 women that I wasn't able to provide the bars with, just my own means of being able to deal with it while being in school at that time. But for the number that have tasted it, I would say it's probably been over 50 people who've tried the bar specifically and have been able to give me feedback. And we're planning on doing e-commerce as well, but through talking to a lot of different leaders in the bar industry, they've been saying the best way to go is just starting with that farmers market and really honing the message and seeing how they respond to the product and pricing rather than going straight to e-commerce, which is incredibly challenging at the moment with all the fake information on TikTok in terms of health foods. So that's where we're planning on starting. And then Sabrina, you were asking about customer satisfaction. So the main thing is at the moment we don't have any there's nothing, what's the word? Concise with all the clinical trials that have been done on seed cycling because the number of variables that are going into it. So for me, I can't do the clinical trial yet, and the government probably won't pay for the different food to be tested that way as medicine. But what we have been going through is they did surveys and women had really noticeable impacts. Like they were able to count the number of days of their menstrual cycle specifically. Some had their cycle come back even, which they hadn't had a cycle in 6 months. So that was very specific feedback that we got. And like cramps just disappearing. They had horrible ones at the beginning and they were just gone by 3 months. And then as soon as they stopped eating them, they came back. And what Carlton was saying, so timeline, I'm planning on doing full farmers markets for this coming summer. And then I would like to be able to be launching e-commerce more towards December of 2025 would be the plan, maybe starting to test how it goes because we need to get some real nice machinery and packaging prior to that and get the cash flow to
And that's
purchase
time.
the things.
Okay, thanks, Catherine. And
Thank
judges will
you.
wait for you to give me a thumbs up that you are ready. Carlton's ready. Walt, are you ready to go? Don't
Uh,
go yet, but just making sure you're on deck there. So Carlton's
Yes.
good. Sabrina, you good? And Rachel, you good? Okay, you can share your screen, Walt.
Right.
And then once I give you your big intro, you can start. Everybody, please welcome our second pitcher, Walt Smithers from Romulus Media.
All right. I hope everybody's doing well. Romulus Media is a marketing agency that does one thing, and that's connect brands with colleges. So, Romulus Media was born after the realization that college really is the first time when individuals establish their first independent buying power. And this creates an optimal time for brands to come in and build loyalties. So I represented the value of college students by comparing switching costs to customer lifetime value. As you can see, college students are at the top left, meaning that they have barely any switching costs, but they represent the highest potential customer lifetime value. It's for this reason that I believe this market is under-targeted and undervalued. The one hair in the soup is that college students are tech savvy, they're digital natives, which means that they're skeptical of blatant advertising. It simply does not work with them. So if we are to reach this audience, college students, we must get clever. We must engage this demographic like a peer. It's normal for us to trust those who are in the same situation as us, and who's more in the same situation than a classmate. So this is all executed through a nationwide student network. You may be asking who's in this network. We've gathered marketing students, content creators, student organizational leaders, experienced brand ambassadors, and really any student with influence over their campus to showcase your brand on their respective campus. Now, the network engages with their classmates through three main methods. Firstly, social media content. We take students with high and low followings to communicate your brand's message digitally to their peers. Secondly, ambassador programs. We take cohorts of students from various campuses to walk around and do tasks such as handing out flyers to communicate your brand's message on their campus. And lastly, we have on-campus events. This can be as simple as a tabling event branded, or it can be as unique as a fraternity integration if your brand really wants to get ingrained within the campus's culture. All right, and to show you guys what Romulus Media really does, I want to highlight our collaboration that is ongoing with Acorns, the saving and investing platform. First, I want to go through the structure of the deal. It's really just twofold. It's us and the students. So we gather 20 total students across 10 distinct universities, two per campus. They're paid $30 per hour, and we also gave them an incentive of a sign-up competition bonus of $5,000 to really juice engagement and passion. Romulus Media is simple. We charge $1,200 per month per campus, meaning that this collaboration netted us $12,000 per month. Here's a few of the numbers. As you can see, we're at about the 2/3 point in the fall semester. We've already reached over 15,000 students across this campaign, and we've gotten Acorns over 700 users. At this point, we already have a 4.2 return on advertising spend on their $96,000 investment with us. They've gained such confidence in Romulus Media that, believe it or not, this morning they decided to 10x their campaign going on into the spring, meaning that they want us to get them on 100 total campuses. This will give us 220,000 in revenue monthly throughout this spring semester.
And that is
Thank you,
time.
guys.
Okay, thank you. And you got something to take some notes from the judges?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to start this time with Steve.
Oh, it's my turn.
It's your
Um,
turn.
it's great. I love that. Love the concept. Very interesting. How are you going to protect this? from competitors doing the same thing? What's your barrier to entry?
And next, Gary. You're on mute.
I know you think I'd figured this out by now. I would like to just know a little bit more about the customer. Specifically, you talked about college students. Are you looking at any particular college, any type of school, public, private? Does that matter? Background on the student, that kind of thing. Specifically, I'd like to see narrow that customer segment, and if you could talk about that.
And Rachel.
I'd love to learn a little bit more about how you're going after the different brands. My concern is that, yes, there's great students out there who have social media platforms and can promote different things, but how are you choosing the right type of brands to promote to the students? That makes sense for their health and wellness, from a financial perspective all the way to um, not overpacking it with consumerism. So would love to just understand that and how you're getting brands to come to you and how you decide on them.
Okay, so Walt, once you start talking, Tim will give you 2 minutes and you can answer the questions.
Sure. So I think in terms of protection against competitors, it's really just the fact that we've been here first. So within our student network, we have about 2,000 students. So we've gained quite a reputation to where the Romulus Media name is actually developing some brand equity. So I'm very confident actually that that equity will hold up and protect us against our competitors. Now, secondly, moving on to what really is our target customer. We started off going colleges one by one. Obviously, we want to go with the biggest colleges first. So we started with public universities, a lot of SEC schools actually. But as we've developed, we've gained kind of, I guess, less choice in that matter because we want to cover as many campuses as possible. We're at about 117 now. So it's really just a matter of who's coming next to us. And then lastly, in terms of choosing our clients carefully, this is something that we've practiced from the very start. We want to make sure that anybody who wants to target these college students is doing it in a very ethical way and they have good intentions behind it. It's also inherently necessary for us to do that, given that we work so intimately and closely with these universities. So if we're seen to be taking advantage of students, it's game over. So it's an inherent responsibility of ours. And if we ever were to, not abide by it, poof, everything would go away. But thank you guys.
Okay, thanks. Wait for the thumbs up from the judges. Crystal, are you ready to go next? Carlton's good. Rachel's good. Steve's good. And Crystal, you ready to go?
Yes, I am. Let me just share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead, and then I'll give you the big intro.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Okay, everybody, please welcome Crystal Lugo from BNC's Gloves, LLC.
Our company specializes in safe fish handling gloves to give a user ease, comfort, and convenience. I'm also the designer, engineer, and inventor of the Glove Scaler. Living around a lot of water, I do a lot of fishing. But one thing I hate to do is to scale a fish. These tools have been around for centuries. Also, as a mom of 5, we also consume a lot of fish. But I know I'm not the only one with this problem. According to the National Institute of Health, they surveyed 215 commercial fishermen. 47% actually got an injury from using these tools, and 32% got an infection. Now, what's the solution? I'll show you. Introducing the only 2-in-1 patented product, a glove and a fish scaler to quickly grip and scale fish by using your hands, offering a faster and safer way to descale fish versus the traditional method. Whether you're 4 or more, beginner or pro, just let the glove scalers do the work. Now, our target market first is direct to consumer, and they spend an average of $59 billion in fishing equipment alone. 8.3 billion spent it in fishing apparel and bait and accessories, but we're specifically targeting the bait and tackle market. Now, within releasing our initial MVP of 100 gloves last year, the traction has been phenomenal. We have secured over 800 pre-orders within 16 countries and on 5 continents, and they haven't even touched the gloves yet. We also secured a distributor on Reunion Island right off of Madagascar. And we were selected to go on our first trade mission next year in spring to Australia to meet with key distributors. We also captured the interest of Walmart and working to get our gloves in over 400 stores spring of next year. Now our revenue model is simple. B2B is wholesale at $22, B2C is $49.99. With an investment of $250,000, not only would we increase and accelerate our product production, but we also enhance our marketing efforts. In addition, we're also looking for strategic partners and brand ambassadors to continue to accelerate our growth and to expand internationally. We can't do it without the dream team. With over 50 years of combined C-suite experience across strategy, sales, marketing, project engineer, we're the right fit to continue to accelerate our growth. Together, we will scale. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Have something to write down some questions from the judges?
Yes, I do.
Okay, one thing to remind the judges before we ask your questions is that apparently everyone needs to fill out the score sheets, and 2 are not being filled out apparently, or there seems to be a lack. So just a reminder from the powers that watch. So we'll start off with our first judge question, Sabrina.
Yeah, thank you. So you mentioned that you were looking at identifying some partnerships. What are some potential partners that you're looking at right now?
Awesome. Great question. Yes. Okay.
And next, Carlton.
Yeah, I love the idea of this glove. I think there's a lot of potential here. My question is centered around production. So how are you going to handle the production of the pre-orders? When can they expect delivery? And how do you plan to handle growth?
And finally, Steve. You're on mute, Steve.
It's trying to fill out the form that you were reminding me about.
Oh, okay.
And so I guess I'm very interested in this, but I, I can't believe there's no competition in this area. What else has been put out there that you've felt like is your competition that you would need to deal with, right? Like it's not like just scaling fish. I like it. I like I like the idea. I like it a lot. But I have to be a little concerned that um, you know, somebody else has come along and done something similar along the way. I mean, people have been scaling fish for a long time. But occasionally it is the case that I run into things where people haven't really redone things in 50 years. And so I get that, but I'd be curious to know what you know about your competition.
All
Okay.
right.
You have 2 minutes, and Tim will tell
Okay.
you when your 2 minutes are up.
All right, I'll begin. So Sabrina, thank you for your question. So our strategic partners is continue to partner with advisors. As we're entering the global market, we want to make sure we're positioning our strategic strategy correctly, as well as, mitigating risks that we may come into contact with because we have an international distributor right now. So making sure we're aligning with that, and also brand ambassadors to really continue to amplify our voice on social media. Mr. Carlton, the next question is production. We are even closer than last time. I would say 95% done. And we are expecting to hit production by the end of December and to deliver these gloves in our launching date of spring of 2025. That's the anticipated product release date. And Steve, great question. I spoke with a gentleman who's been in this industry yet alone in my experience, longer than I've been alive, 50 plus years. He owns a bait and tackle shop. He said never in his 50 years has he ever seen a glove like this, even close into design. This is a true game changer. And we have really positioned ourselves in a unique space where there's no other product in comparison. You have a glove that does your regular handling, gripping, but there's no other tool that is combined onto a face of the glove. And our glove is a game changer because it's not just for scaling. We also tapped into the oyster market because the gloves that are used get destroyed from the puncturing of the oysters. So our glove uses as a barrier. So for oyster, shrimp, lobster, crabbing, it's a complete seafood game changer unicorn glove.
I don't guess I get a feedback question probably, but I'm going to just ask this anyway. You mentioned a design patent. Do you have a utility patent?
It's a utility patent. I'm saying I designed it, but I have a full utility patent on this, sir.
And it's granted or not?
It's granted. It was granted in 2020, 24, 2 years ago. So it was granted in 2022. Yes.
Okay.
And
Cool.
a
And
trademark.
are we at time, Tim?
We're time.
Okay, thanks. And so judges will let you fill out your sheet um, and then we'll get going.
I'm
So,
gonna try and do that. I'm not very good at it, but I'm working on it.
okay. Uh, Joshua, are you ready?
Absolutely. Hopefully you can hear me okay, and I'll load up my slides.
Okay, so just hang on until, don't share your screen. I need to see the judges first.
Apologize.
Yeah, just get a thumbs up. Carlton, Rachel's good. Steve, are you good? Okay, awesome. You go ahead and share, Joshua.
Sounds great.
And I'm ready when you are. After when I'll start when Gary tells you to start. And
Yep.
you start.
All right, you ready?
Can you hear me all right?
Yep. Please welcome Joshua Miner from Archetype Braces Voyage LLC.
Archetype Braces is redefining what a knee brace can be. In the words of our customers, this is a game changer. Knees are the most commonplace for disorders and surgeries. Yet, with limited blood flow in the meniscus, they have a difficult time healing, especially as you age. One of these 365 million people is my mom, who at the end of a 4-year doctor shuffle was told to enjoy the couch more. 4 years she couldn't enjoy hiking because she tripped over a curb once. 4 years of consultations, surgeries, physical therapy, and countless braces, all the flatline progress, dismissed, and hopeless. So we asked what came after the acceptance of impairment. Every existing brace tries to hug the knee, like a cast, and promote impossible healing by stimulating blood flow where it simply can't. Our brace is distinct in that it works like a pair of crutches, catching you in stride. We achieve this by inventing a patent-pending offset hinge to preload tension in the leg with every step, artificially overtaking the role of the knee and the leg, sparing your own, effectively absorbing the impact of every step, run, or walk up the stairs. We invented a sigh of relief at the end of years of dismissal and avid searching. A sigh made possible by my experience as a patented aerospace engineer, biomedical research fellow, marketing fellow, artist in residence, and Pulitzer Center photojournalist. Our mission is simple. It's to redefine the possible, to bring back lost dreams so you don't have to settle. We will claim a $1.6 billion slice of annual knee brace sales as our performance segment, a customer segment that breaks ground on pushing the knee beyond what it's ordinarily capable of. Our $135 online pre-order is priced amid the most affordable braces, so it's a no-brainer decision, taking advantage of our manufacturing center design, which boasts a 51% gross profit margin. This customer base was validated by 10 weeks of funded fellowship market research, interviewing doctors, surgeons, physical therapists, retirement caretakers, and most importantly, customers. The final design was built on these ideas over 30 iterations in 9 months, followed by 3 months of beta testing. Consistently throughout this 1.5 year journey, we confirmed time and time again that customers felt dismissed and caretakers felt awful they couldn't do more. Because of this, we will launch this week with 5 front-page newspapers, a podcast, in-person banners, and a paid digital advertising campaign concentrating on the Williamsburg area to build a core foundation of trust, leveraging the heartfelt family story to connect with our disenfranchised customers who are in the exact same boat. Our story of a mother and son who get to hike together once again. one made possible by our team of renowned surgeons, doctors, attorneys, and accountants. Pre-order a new chapter of your life at archetypebraces.com. You have been let down. Let us lift you back up.
That's time.
Okay, thank you. If you want to unshare your screen and you're ready to have some questions thrown at you,
Absolutely.
you ready to catch some
I'm looking
questions?
forward to it.
All right, we're going to start with Gary this time.
There we go. Got it. Unmuted this time. Um, you know, couple things, but I know I can only ask one. You talk a lot about the emotional side of this. Do you have any data? Like how much are you offloading? I've got a background in orthopedics for a long time, so I'm familiar with this. But you know, it's a very competitive market, and there's a lot of people claiming a lot. So, do you have data to support some of the things that you've made a claim there? Okay.
And next, Rachel.
Thank you, Joshua. You had mentioned that you were starting in one particular market. If you could just repeat that again. And then why did you specifically choose there, if it was close proximity, or is there other markets where there is maybe a lot of people who are dealing with this particular ailment and could also use a product like this to be tested on as an initial market as well?
And finally, Carlton.
Yeah, great presentation, Joshua. I see so much potential with with this device. I'm curious about your price point. I noticed that you said $150 for pre-orders as compared to I think 700 or 750 that was listed from a medical manufacturer or competition. Can you just talk a little bit more about how you came up with your number to start out with your pre-orders?
And once you start answering, Tim will give you 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that for me, throughout this entire thing, the passion, the fire, the inspiration has been my mom, but it's also been wanting to do good. I know that the thing that's plagued everybody who's ever bought a knee brace up to this point, for the most part, is that they've been let down. They feel like they're buying junk. They feel like they're buying things to buy things to try and have a glimmer of hope, and it never pans out for them. And so, from the data to the price point to the whole journey, I've just wanted to do good, right? So, I tried to price it at that $135 price point, considering how much I could manufacture it for. Okay, that's too expensive. How can we manufacture it for cheaper? Okay, that's too expensive. How can we manufacture it for cheaper? And then adding a very, very reasonable profit margin onto that instead of the 8,000, 10,000, 80,000% markup that you often see in the medical industry. And same thing with the data where, again, the last thing I want to do is sell somebody garbage. We've had hundreds of people try it, especially over the course of the 30 iterations of the brace. We've had a minimum of 10 people try each of those 30 iterations for extended periods of time, really to just lock in that this, in fact, is something that they can use. And in virtually every cases, we're taking people who can't walk up 2 steps, 3 steps, now can suddenly walk up 5 or 6 flights of stairs and walk back down, which is sort of a nice concrete way that you can filter out what are they just saying to be nice versus what they can actually do. And that again has been sort of the fire of the whole operation is testing, checking, testing, checking, testing, checking. And over the course of it, talking to thousands of patients, interviewing thousands of people, trying it on hundreds of people. We feel very solid that we're offering the world's best brace, to be quite frank, for people that have some mobility but are looking to regain full mobility. And we try to lock in the patent so that way we can try and provide that service for a long time coming. And we're excited to. And I think as for oh, yeah.
Was that time, Tim?
I,
Okay.
I know we're probably out of time, but I gotta ask, what's different about your brace than other braces?
Yeah, absolutely. The core differentiator is the patented technology, which
I'm gonna suggest that you not answer just so that everybody has the same amount of time.
Uh, that's fine.
Yeah, we have the
Of
parameters are
course.
set for everyone to be treated fairly. So,
Yep, I get it, but
okay.
I'm
Good,
having
great
full.
question offline.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
Okay,
haven't just don't fully understand the differential. Obviously, he believes there's a differential here, and would like to understand that better, to understand the value proposition. But okay, time is of the essence.
Yep. We have to make it equitable for everyone. So,
Yep, yep.
but thanks for your passion. Okay, well, moving on then. When you judges who have asked your questions and when you have thumbs up, we're good. Carlton's good. Sabrina's good. And Steve is good. And Rachel, are you good? Okay, awesome. All right. Andrew, are you ready to go?
Sweet. Excited.
Okay, you go ahead and share your screen.
Okay.
And you ready for the big intro?
Yep.
All
Let's
right,
go.
please welcome Andrew Choi from Beige LLC.
Hi, we're Beige. We offer personal training anytime, anywhere using AI. So we went out and talked to hundreds of people on the beach, asking about what their core issues were when it comes to personal training. And we found three core issues. Number one is accountability. Who's there to make sure that you're working out consistently with proper form? Number two is proper form. Now, the most common solution is to watch a bunch of YouTube videos and experiment on your own, but that tends to lead to longer training times as well as potential injuries. Number three is cost. The average cost for a personal trainer is $70 an hour, which most people cannot afford over a long period of time. This is an issue because health is a lifetime commitment. And so that's why we created an app called Firefly. It's an AI personal trainer app that uses your phone's camera to track and improve your form. And so all the user has to do is download the app, choose a workout, start their workout, and save their progress over time. The great thing about our statistics is that the user has to physically work out in front of the camera. We're also the only app to provide real-time form feedback as well as scoring. So let's say the user is doing a squat and they're not going all the way down. The app will verbally tell them, hey, bring your hips down lower, as well as give them a low score for that for every single rep. And we're able to do this because we have an accurate post tracker capable of tracking dynamic human movements. And so we also offer trainers a dashboard where they can monitor their clients' progress over time, as well as know if they're struggling with a particular movement. Meanwhile, on the client side, all they have to do is download the app, enter in the code to access their personalized workouts created by their trainer and work out. So it doesn't matter what time it is or if they're a frequent traveler, all they have to do is open up the app and work out. So for us, we basically offer 24/7 personal training anytime, anywhere. We don't require you to purchase any additional hardware or charge any additional fees. We're also able to train our trainer for other physical activities such as tennis, golf, yoga, or Pilates. So the market size for personal trainers around the world is $41.8 billion. Our end user target demographic are millennial and Gen Z workers within the United States who have tried out all these different training apps, but just found them ineffective to use. Our go-to-market strategy is to use a B2B2C model. So we will be primarily focused on businesses, helping them scale and onboard more clients, while we passively convert them into app users. Meanwhile, we'll also be entering into partnerships and collaborations with health and wellness companies because we want to reward users who have a consistent and healthy lifestyle. The way that we plan on charging personal trainers is through a monthly subscription rate with add-ons and a one-time licensing fee for their coach data. This basically means that other coaches from similar training fields cannot use that coach's data. For the app, we're using a freemium model and offer holiday discounts. So here's our amazing team. We want to make personal training more affordable and accessible. So please help us create the Duolingo, but for training. Thank you.
That's time.
Great, thank you. This time, I'm going to tell you the judges that are going to be asking you questions are Steve, Gary, and Sabrina. And we'll start with Steve first.
So I love this idea. I mean, everybody needs to do this stuff. Was a great pitch, and you know, I really like it. Um, I wonder how protectable it might be in terms of an IP sense, because that's part of my background. But and if I was investing in it, I would be concerned that somebody else would just come in and do the same thing. But that's my question, I guess.
Okay. Next, Gary.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about your target customer. There's big difference between somebody who's 20 years old versus somebody who's 60. or even older than 60 like me. So it's something that, are you focused on any one particular age group, or is you trying to make it one size fits all?
And Sabrina.
Yeah, along the same lines as Gary with the customer discovery side, what is some of the feedback that you've gotten from users so far, and what have you learned from that feedback?
And Tim will give you 2 minutes when you start answering.
Okay, so great questions, first of all. So in terms of the question about how protectable is the IP, so we're basically treating it as a trade secret. So basically they would have to access our main code and read it themselves. But even then, there's a lot going on there. So for us, it's just more of an internal thing that we keep to ourselves. For our target customers, we're targeting millennial and Gen Z users. So we're not really focused, we're not yet including people of senior age yet, because that's more of physiotherapy. There are other B2B, very competitive B2B markets for that. So we're just targeting more of the younger generation. For our customer discovery process, we went out on the beach. We started out with a rep counter because we're like, oh, we forget our reps. But we slowly learned that the people's true core issues were form feedback. So we went out to Virginia Beach and asked a bunch of people about if they could do 10 proper push-ups. I think out of 121 people, 57% could not do proper push-ups. And so that's why we wanted to do businesses. There's actually a picture of us like working with a local business here in Norfolk. And we're working with them and helping trainers, and they've been very collaborative with us about their core issues, and we feel like we can give them an immediate value with this current app. So yeah, great questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Wait for the judges to give me a thumbs up. And meanwhile, Yasmin, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, don't share your screen yet. So Rachel's good. Gary, you're good. Steve's good. Okay, awesome. All right, you can go ahead and share your screen.
Okay.
Are you ready?
1 second. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, everybody, please welcome Yasmin Johnson from Style Magnet.
All right. Imagine feeling almost terrified to buy clothing online, anticipating a letdown when an order arrives that doesn't match your expectations. Now add the frustration of a closet in complete chaos, where every outfit feels like a compromise. Shopping shouldn't be this frustrating, but this is the reality for so many women. Women in the US are spending over $200 million annually on clothes they return due to misalignment with fit, size, and quality expectations. The time spent searching, assessing, buying, and returning is significant, while many women experience diminished confidence and negative feelings about their body image alongside this process. This is where Style Magnet comes in, taking the guesswork and frustrations out of shopping online for fashion. We offer a streamlined, personalized shopping experience by aggregating quality clothing from trusted retailers and matching our users to outfit recommendations based on their body shape, style preferences, and measurements. Here's how it works. We start by collecting fit details, including body shape and measurements. We use algorithms guided by stylist expertise to assess each garment's attributes to create complementary outfit pairings for each body shape, and then recommending these outfits based on users' chosen body shape and evolving preferences. Finally, we give users the flexibility to shop directly from retailers or request our personal shopper service that handles the entire process from purchasing to managing return pickups. There's immense opportunity in women's U.S. online fashion retail market at $70 billion, with our target market making up $1.4 billion, showcasing potential for growth and opportunity that Style Magnet is poised to tap into. Style Magnet generates revenue through multiple streams. Our primary revenue comes from a shopping fee for the personal shopper service, which we're launching this week, as well as commissions when users shop directly through retailers. Our subscription model will offer premium features and a reduced shopping fee. Since launching our MVP in March, we've secured affiliate partnerships, onboarded 30 users, including paying customers, and conducted further customer discovery to refine our product and messaging. We've grown our LinkedIn following to 40 potential early adopters, and now we're focusing on finalizing subscription offerings, refining key features, and scaling. Hi, I'm Yasmin Johnson, the founder and CEO of Style Magnet, and my mission is to revolutionize the fashion e-commerce experience by making it more accessible, inclusive, and efficient. With over 10 years of experience in fashion retail, a master's in integrated design, business, and technology, and deep insights from my experiences with my clients as a personal stylist, I'm uniquely positioned to lead Style Magnet. The future of fashion is undeniably moving towards inclusivity, personalization, and convenience as consumers' needs and values are evolving rapidly, and big retailers are struggling to keep up, presenting a significant opportunity for Style Magnet to lead the way. So join Style Magnet today. Thank you.
And that's time.
Okay, thank you. You can unshare your screen and ready to take some questions from the judges?
Yes.
Okay, the judges this time who get to ask questions are Rachel, Sabrina, and Carlton. So we'll start with Rachel.
Thank you, Yasmin. And yes, go Spellman. Didn't go there, but I live in Atlanta, so love it. Uh, my question is around the value proposition because there's a lot of apps, a lot of startups I've seen trying to figure out this problem. So, what is the differentiator that would separate you from that to have an opportunity to really grow and scale this type of business? And my second question is around exit potential. You talked a lot about like these different retailers that are coming into utilizing the app as a way to aggregate their different brands and then share it with your customers. But have you thought about like what that would look like, 5, 10 years from now, or if you have an exit strategy for the app itself?
And Sabrina?
Hi, Yasmin. So my question is, how do you plan to scale your platform as the demand grows? I know that you were talking about how you have a working prototype right now, and I just wanted to know a little bit about how you're planning to scale that prototype.
And Carlton.
Uh, yeah, great presentation. Yasmin, the question I have actually ties into what Rachel asked, and that is really who are your competitors? Because I do see a lot of different types of businesses online that claim to do what you do in some form or fashion, and I really want to also know what differentiates you from them.
Okay, and when you start to answer the questions, Tim will give you 2 minutes.
Okay. So I'll start by answering Carlton and half of Rachel's question in terms of differentiation. So the way in which we differentiate ourselves is one, we don't hold any inventory. So we have a competitor, one of our biggest competitors is Stitch Fix. They do hold inventory, but the way that we stay lean and the way that we can stay agile in the market and being able to keep up with the trends and being able to make sure that we're recommending products based on our clients or our customers' evolving preferences is that we recommend the products by aggregating from other retailers. So we support retailers in helping to match them with the appropriate person, but also we help the customers find exactly what they're looking for that is a good match for their body shape. So part of our differentiator is that we don't hold inventory, so it allows us to stay agile. We avoid the unsold stock issues of a lot of brands, and we really focus on body shape matching and looking at what the person's measurements are to be able to match them to the appropriate products. And then in terms of scaling and growth, so we're looking at a lot of ways to automate. So we have an algorithm now that is informed by stylist expertise, but I am currently testing this out to find ways in which we can automate a lot of our features and implement AI into our practices to be able to let the process be very seamless. And then, oh, exit potential. Amazon was a company that I thought about because we're looking at, in terms of streamlining the entire shopping process, they have a really good shipping and logistics process. So in terms of that, and they're already in the fashion space. I was looking at how we could, a company like Amazon or Amazon to be able to exit or buy us out.
And that is time.
Okay, thanks everybody. And so when the judges are giving me the thumbs up, we're going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break. So if we could come back at 7, so Carlton's good, and Sabrina, you good? Rachel's good, Steve's good, Gary's good. Awesome. We'll come back. I have 6:55. We'll come back at 7. Look forward to seeing that. And the first one up after the break is Aaliyah. So you're ready to go. See you soon. And welcome back, everybody. Ready to get started again. And for our judges to get back, make sure we have everybody. I'm seeing all the judges. We have Steve, Rachel, Gary.
We're good.
Come back. Yep, I think we're good to go. We got everybody. Got Gary. Yep. Okay. Aaliyah, are you ready?
Yes, it's actually me and my partner, Hannah.
Hi, I'm here.
Okay. You want to share your screen?
And I'll start when you all start.
Yep. Please welcome Aaliyah Hall from Hercule Q.
Picture a city where cars take a back seat, streets filled with people walking, biking, and riding e-scooters through bike lanes and parks. A city where transportation is eco-friendly, accessible, and effortless. This is the future that Gen Z and young millennials are demanding. At Hercule Q, we're building that vision by reimagining how e-bikes and e-scooters stay charged and ready to go. My name is Hannah Lacan, CEO and founder of Hercule Q, and with me here is Aaliyah Hall, CMO and co-founder of Hercule Q. Micromobility companies like Bird, Lime, and Spin are transforming urban transportation with e-bikes and e-scooter rentals. However, keeping vehicles charged and ready to go is a major hurdle, resulting in costly downtime and inefficiencies. Privately owned scooters also encounter issues due to a lack of public charging infrastructure and range anxiety. Cities, too, are facing pressure to create walkable, bike-friendly areas that young generations want. Hercule Q has developed a dynamic wireless charging system for e-bikes and e-scooters that minimizes downtime, maximizes availability, and ensures vehicles are always ready to ride. Our seamless charging solutions will help companies like Bird and Lime improve their operations, contributing to the push for more sustainable, walkable cities. With a patentable design, we'll launch prototype testing by May of 2025. Our business model is B2B and B2C. Our company will sell wireless charging systems directly to shared services like Bird and Lime. Businesses will have the unique option to purchase our product as is or opt for a sub-licensing package agreement tailored to specific needs. We will also sell our charging stations to privately owned scooter owners who can purchase the station at a fixed cost.
Over the past 3 years, we formed key partnerships, secured grants, and consulted with our target audience. With advisors linked to NASA, we're equipped to meet market demands. Through programs such as ICAP, we've held numerous conversations with target users to affirm the need for more charging infrastructure that will address their most significant pain points. We'll first target local college campuses, initiating pilot tests. From there, we'll expand to cities, integrating our technology into urban infrastructure and leading to securing contracts with companies such as Bird and Lime. We aim to integrate our device into bike lanes to create a dynamic charging system. Hercule Q is leading the way in urban mobility by solving today's challenges with charging and promoting bike-friendly infrastructure. By addressing today's challenges in micromobility and empowering companies and communities alike, we're creating a new standard for urban transportation. Thank you for being a part of this journey with us.
And that's time.
Okay, thanks. Unshare your screen. There you go. And this time the judges will be asking questions are Rachel, Sabrina, and Carlton. So you have something to capture some questions from the judges.
Yep, we're all good.
And we'll start with Rachel.
Very cool, and I'm glad that you guys are doing a charging station and not more bikes, because really. But I have a question around how are you getting some of the initial funding? Because it seems like you guys are still kind of getting the pilot mode out. And have you looked into groups like CDVCA, which does have some grants specifically around ESG? projects and programs to do things like this. So we'd love to know where you're getting some non-dilutive funding to help support this as well.
Sabrina?
What are some of the technical challenge you're anticipating with this idea, and how are you planning on addressing those issues?
And Carlton?
Yes, if you all can just talk a little bit more about your partnership with Warp Speed Scooters and just any other strategic partnerships that you have in the pipeline.
And Tim will give you 2 minutes when you start answering.
Okay. So for Rachel, to answer your question, how are we getting initial funding? So right now, a lot of it is family funding. However, we have done programs like Buick that provide micro, small grants. We've also, through our partnership, we're able to get connected to a government contracting specialist. So she will be helping us get those SBIR grants and NSF grants. So to answer that question, that's how we've been funding a lot of this. Two, what are the technical challenges? So working with the Warp Speed scooters, this kind of answers the third question and the second question. He comes with a strong team of engineers. So the technical challenge that we will have to overcome is misalignment, also overheating of battery packs. So we're working with different battery management systems to ensure that that doesn't happen, because we know and understand that fires is a critical issue when dealing with e-bikes and e-scooters. So that's another challenge, but also the time. We want to achieve to do fast charging. So and as well as dynamic charging. So the misalignment and the time in which one can charge the vehicle is something that we're going to have to definitely do more R&D on. So our partnership with Warp Speed Scooters, we met them at Reactor in Hampton at the Innovation Hub in Hampton. He is developing he's a mechanical engineer. He's developing his own fleet of e-scooters, really heavy duty, mainly targeted towards the government space. However, he does want to tailor his products to the residential space for his smaller scale scooters. So he has a really strong engineering team. Hercule Q is really strong on the business side of things. So we just decided to collaborate, come together, and we are in an exclusive agreement partnership right now. So he is developing our prototype. So we are in the prototyping phase.
And that is time.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We'll give the judges just a second to fill out their sheets. Rachel's good. Carlton's good. Gary's good. Sabrina's good. Steve's good. I don't know. I can't see Steve, so we'll assume he's good. All right. Leland, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, please. Are you ready to go? Please welcome Leland Ramias from Vroombrick.
Home affordability is at record lows. The American dream of home ownership is a fleeting concept. I'm Leland, and our team created Vroombrick to democratize residential home buying and selling and make the process more affordable with technology. Unlike other industries where new technology lowers costs for consumers, technology involving real estate has actually seen rising costs for consumers. The problem here is threefold. Tech tools favor realtors, not consumers. There's an illusion of complexity of the real estate process, and there's little to no consumer alternatives to using a realtor. This results in high transaction fees. Now let's take a second to look at what realtors do to earn that 3 to 6% commission. As a former realtor myself, I can tell you in reality, it's all basic tasks. Vroombrick automates these processes and empowers you to save time and money. How do we do that exactly? Well, whether you buy or sell, our dashboard provides you step-by-step procedures and transaction notifications. We give you tools like our offer simulator to break down your options. Paperwork simplified through our submission form to PDF technology. And we have professional guidance in place through our closing attorneys and lender partner that are directly on platform. Additionally, showings and inspections are scheduled and managed through the platform. And when selling, your listing is syndicated to all the same marketing sites that you would as get to be put on as a realtor. Think about Vroombrick as the TurboTax for real estate. We give you the software, the stakeholder connections, and as a result, the average Vroombrick user saves $7,500 when they purchase or sell a home. And we do this all for just a 1% technology fee. Our team has collaborated on over 1,000 real estate transactions as former realtors and lender. We're industry experts, and we're solving a problem we've experienced firsthand. And our timing could not be better due to economic challenges, regulatory changes, and the largest tech-savvy generation reaching home buyer age. Our TAM is massive, but what I really want to point you to is our beachhead market in the Hampton Roads area of over 1,600 veteran affair loan transactions a year. And since our pitch competition in March, we've been executing a lot. Revenue has rose to $52,000. We went from 3 to 17 users closed. But what's more important to us is that 150K of user savings. And we're ready to scale. We've established strategic partnerships with local organizations and major players like the Pentagon. Plus, with our new platform design finished, we're scheduled to handle 10 times more transactions in the upcoming months. At Vroombrick, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to unshare your screen. And the judges who are going to ask you questions this time are Steve, Gary, and Rachel. You want to go ahead and unshare your screen?
Oh, yes.
That'd be great. There you go. Perfect. And we'll start with Steve.
So, how would you distinguish yourself from Zillow on this concept? I'm actually quite familiar with real estate apps and I have some experience in this area.
Yeah.
So what would you say, why would I go to you versus Zillow?
Zillow simply can't copy.
We'll get all the questions and then you can
sorry about that.
together.
Writing them down. Jumping the gun.
Okay, and then we'll go next to Gary.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about, again, always looking to try to narrow the segment as you get ready to launch. You didn't talk about what type of house. Are you looking at, are you going to focus on lower end of the scale, higher end of the scale? Are you looking at apartments or condos, townhouses, that kind of thing? It seems like, when you're getting started, it should be some kind of a focus, and I didn't hear anything about that.
And finally, Rachel.
Love anything that has to do with getting more people access to having a home. Question around some of the partners you had mentioned, the Pentagon. So why specifically is that group interested? And is there a strategy around the partners you want to have on the institutional side to help the business to grow?
Okay, you'll have 2 minutes to answer those once you start answering.
Okay. Yeah, great questions. So as far as Zillow, they're a glorified marketing company. When you click schedule a tour, you're getting matched up with a realtor expecting 3%. Zillow tries to copy us, reverse economies of scale occurs. They can't match our 1% fee because they're taking off the top from realtors paying advertising expenses, and they're taking off the back end of the realtor commission. Just to clarify, we have launched already and have a lot of traction, 17 users closed. We enable you to interact with the open market. So you see a home on Zillow, you are able to go see a home with one of our showing agents who we pay up front, who is not expecting commission. You then use our platform that is like TurboTax to facilitate the rest of your transaction. So any home, to answer your question. The Pentagon, we see the military as our beachhead market. So we have a lot of partnerships with local organizations like the American Legion and the 757 Hampton Roads Veteran Employment Center. But the Pentagon has a lot of military, and that is because they are highly mobile and they're getting orders every 2 to 3 years, which makes them want to save on these frequent transactions that they're occurring.
That's time.
Okay, that's time. Thank you.
I, I have a lot of experience in this area. You should call me.
Okay. We'd love to talk after. Thank you.
Okay. Next up is Sarah. Are you ready to go? Don't share your screen yet. Just let me make sure all the judges are good with their sheets there. Carlton's good. Sabrina's good. Rachel's good. Steve's good. You good, Gary? Gary's good. Okay, go ahead and share your screen, Sarah. And are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, please welcome Sarah Kaya Morton from Lock Green.
So imagine this is you, nervous and alone at a traffic stop. Then you get even more anxious because you remember you have your own personal stash of weed in your car. What do you do? The with over 75% of the country having legal cannabis laws, the fact of the matter is that many people are not familiar with what their laws are saying. And a lot of the state laws, just like in Virginia, are very unclear. The open container law specifically dictates how you can travel with cannabis in your car. And that is a very confusing law here in Virginia. And as you can see from the headlines here, for many other states across the country. Additionally, despite widespread cannabis legalization across the country, more people are still arrested for cannabis possession than possession of any other drug in the United States, despite widespread cannabis legalization. So it is a problem, and my company, Lot Green, is a part of the solution. Our mission is to help prevent cannabis law violations, and we do that by the use of our stash boxes. They are smell proof, and they have a built-in combination lock to meet and exceed most states' requirements for cannabis storage and travel. We also provide community education, which I do personally. I speak across Virginia and the country to consumers about responsible use, knowing your cannabis laws, and having that knowledge serve as your protection. My name is Sarah Kaya Morton, and my husband and I started Lot Green in 2021. My husband has over 13 years of experience in the cannabis industry across 5 states, and I have a background in corporate America, but I've been very active in cannabis law reform in Virginia since 2018. When we started the company, we started business to consumers, mainly through our website, through large vending events, and then we added business to business, wholesale. Currently, we're sold in retailers and dispensaries across 7 states and counting, and we've entered into several brand partnerships, as you see below from our stash boxes, with brands across the country, which also increases our exposure, and it is a differentiator between our stash boxes and others across the country. The fact that we can customize. Our target market are people I like to categorize that have too much to lose and no time for the drama. They're parents, they're professionals, they're veterans, and more. We currently have over 2,000 customers across the country, and with over 50% of U.S. adults identifying as consumers or potential consumers of cannabis, those numbers grow continually year over year, and so does our target market. We are currently have a Lot Green customer survey out where we are really getting great intel about what our customers want, like, and not like, and also learning more about their habits. We've had many milestones over these years and been featured in many publications, but right now we're low inventory, we're funded by us, we're fulfilled by us, and we're staffed by us. We look
That
to
is
capital.
time.
Yep, thank you.
Great, thank you. You want to go ahead and unshare your screen. And the judges who are going to ask you questions, if you want to grab something to capture questions, judges are going to ask you questions this time are Sabrina, Carlton, and Steve. So we'll start with, are you ready for some questions?
Yes, I'm ready.
We'll start with Sabrina.
Hi, thank you. So you were talking about a customer survey, and I was wondering what some of those results look like from that survey that you cast.
And next, Carlton.
Yeah, great presentation. The question I have for you, Sarah, is how do you ensure that your product meets or exceeds the legal requirements across all states?
And Steve.
I have more of a comment than a question, which is to say that this is a very interesting business, but it's also very competitive. I'd be curious to know how you feel you can compete there, but I also um, know companies that do this like every day. So happy to help.
Okay. So you have 2 minutes when you start answering, and Tim will let you know when your time is up.
Okay, first question is from Sabrina, customer survey results. We launched the survey on November 1st, and since then we've gotten 80 responses, and it doesn't end until the 15th. So far what we've gotten is people are giving us feedback about they want customization on the personal level. Right now we only offer it for brand partnerships. They want some improved zippers, which we're going to do, and larger dowels on the lock. So those are some things that we've identified so far because the dowels are little, especially for older people or medical patients. And I look forward to getting more intel. Carlton, meeting and exceeding local requirements. I'm very active in the cannabis industry nationwide, and I sit on the board of Virginia Normal, so I'm always hearing about laws. I'm like at the pulse of it. So I literally look into them. I literally research the state laws and I read about it every morning across my news feed. That is very important because the thing is that people are not aware of these laws. So kind of going into the differentiator aspect of Steve's comment, there's 1,000 stash box companies across the country. You Google it, right? But what we do is we differentiate ourselves by that educational component. Because I'm going out and educating, I'm not only helping my community, but I'm gaining access to more communities. And that sets us apart as a company. Our mission is about preventing cannabis law violations. No other stash box company out there, and I research them constantly, is doing that. So we differentiate ourselves there. Also, the fact that we can customize our stash boxes. I've only come across one, maybe two other brands that do that. We actively do that with brand partnerships, which we're looking to do more of as we continue to grow our business. We want to align with large music festivals, with even larger brands to continue to grow our company. So I look for help and partnerships with that to learn how to do that more, and connections as well.
That is time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And I just want to say also, I can help with that. I have those connections too.
Okay.
Much appreciated. I'll be in touch.
Awesome. Okay. You guys, when the judges give me a thumbs up, Marian, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Don't share your screen yet. Let me just make sure judges are good. Gary's good.
Going to the next growable.
Rachel's good. Steve's good. Carlton's good. Okay, you can share your screen. And then you just tell me when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, everybody, please welcome Marian Vanier from Growables.
All right. Hi, my name is Marian Vanier from Growables, houseplants made simple and fun. So when you look at the plants here, you can see that they're kind of ill. They don't look too good. And as a plant parent, that tends to happen when you're trying your best to grow a plant. You try everything to take care of it, and it just ends up dying. Well, I'm happy to say it's not your fault. For growing plants, there are three things that you need to take in consideration. Um, there's three big issues: lack of knowledge, lack of time, and having the incorrect type of soil. When you buy a plant from the store, it's in soil made for nursery conditions. So when you bring it into the house, it's much more easy to kill your plant by accident. And right now, the existing plant landscape is focused on solving one of those issues. You can either have correct soil, you can have a simple plant kit, or you can have it informative. Here at Growables, we strive to solve all three of those problems. And we do it by selling our all-in-one grow kits. They come with everything that you need to go and sell your plant. And these grow kits are especially tailored to your type of plant. And it comes with a smart app that you're able to go and learn how to take care of your plant step by step. Our business model is composed of two aspects. We do B2C via Amazon. We sold out of Etsy for a while until we just ran out of our initial batch. So now we're moving to Amazon, and also B2B with plant shops. So for the smart app, we're looking for a freemium model. This is a way to get recurring revenue from not just selling kits, from our guides, videos, and other forms of content. And we're also looking with a paid subscription for our AI plant monitoring system. So I am a data analyst, so I know how to make machine learning models. And I've made a model where you just take a picture of a plant, you ask it what's wrong with it, and it's able to go and tell you what's wrong with it and help come up with a plan to fix your plant. The market for plants is huge, with over $4 billion in it and over 66% of Americans owning a houseplant. This market is currently growing at a staggering rate of over 4% a year. And the team is composed of Gabby, who's a teacher, so she knows how to take complicated subjects and distill it to a very nice and concise way. Luke, he's an entrepreneur student, so he knows how to go and market different basically he knows how to market products. And then my brother Elias, he's a CTO. So he has worked with Toyota and he knows how to take a product from idea and connecting with large scale suppliers in order to ship it across the world. And then myself, I took up plants as a hobby and I spent hours and hours of research learning. And I also talked with different horticulturalists in order to make sure that our guides are as accurate as possible. Thank you for your time and let's grow together.
Last time.
Okay, thank you. I want to go ahead and unshare your screen.
Okay.
Get ready to take some questions. The judges who will ask questions this time are Gary, Rachel, and Carlton. So we'll go ahead and start with Gary. You're on mute, Gary.
I'm glad you didn't hear what I said. I'm glad you didn't hear what I said when I said, realized I was still on mute. So anyway, I was going to say I have a black thumb, so I find this fascinating, to try to figure this out. Are you focused on any, I mean, when you talk about plants, it's such a wide variety again, and kind of my questions are always this, should you be narrowing your segment? You've got a lot of traction already. Are you focusing on any one particular type of house plant, or is it, I don't even know if it needs differentiation, but, can just talk a little bit about, what you're targeting, and what has been selling best for you so far. Okay.
And Rachel?
I'd love to understand a little bit around the freemium model and the subscription pricing and base modeling there, especially as you're trying to move over to Amazon, and what was like the thinking or what can be the thinking, knowing that you're going to move things there. And then secondly, around the cost of goods sold. So what is the cost to do the business to be able to sell it, especially on a site like Amazon?
And Carlton.
Yeah, Marion, great presentation. Very, very, very interesting concept. I started to think about all the plants around my house that have died, so I think this will help. The question I have is, there are a number of different apps that are available that you can use to take a picture of the plant and see what's wrong with it. So it doesn't sound to me that your main differentiator is with the app. It sounds like the secret sauce is your grow kit. Is that correct? And if you can just elaborate a little bit more about your differentiation between you and your competitors, I think that'll help me. Thank you.
Marion, you'll have 2 minutes once you start answering.
All right, so for our focus on houseplants, we have 3 different kits: a desert kit, tropical kit, and foliage kit. So the desert plant will take all your succulents like cacti. Tropical will take any like philodendron or monstera plants. And then foliage plants are basically any general plant that can take like neutral household conditions. So this covers about 70 to 80% of the most common houseplants on the market. And then for pricing and cost, so right now it costs us $10 to go and have everything made into a kit, and we sell it for $25. But if we're looking at scale, with the moment we have over 1,000 kits, our price drops from $10 to $4 each per unit. So we're able to go and basically like quintuple our basically quintuple the amount. And then our secret sauce. So we're running a fundamentally different business than most other plant businesses. They're in the market of selling plants while we're in the market of keeping them alive. And that's a key differentiator that a lot of apps don't really focus on, and a lot of focus that plant sellers don't, because they're in a net zero business where you're selling so many plants. The profit margin for each plant is probably $1 or $2. So by having an app and different grow kits, we're able to sidestep that entirely in order to have a more efficient business model.
And does the growth kits include seeds for the plant, or is it just the soil itself? And
so we provide the plant and we give you everything else that you need.
That's time.
Okay, thank you. Judges, I'll wait to hear from you, but our next pitcher, Cheryl, are you ready?
I am. Thank you.
Okay. Yep, don't share your screen yet. Let me just make sure judges are good. Rachel's good. Gary, you good? Carlton's good. Sabrina's good. Steve, you good?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. You can go ahead and share your screen.
Sorry.
Is it shared? We're not seeing your screen.
You're not seeing my screen?
Nope.
All right. I apologize.
And that's time. Just kidding.
It's the little green. There you go. There
Can
you
you
go.
see it? Sorry.
You
Sorry.
you go, Tim. You go, Tim. I love it.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, please welcome Cheryl Berry from Our Brand Media.
The film industry is worth $26 billion. Media advertising expenditures are approximately $60 billion. In 2022, the amount of time viewers spent with independently created content surpassed the time spent with Hollywood created content. Less than 4% of independent film and TV show creators made a profit. It's difficult for independent creators to find financial backers, promote themselves out of market. Our solution is a multi-distribution video streaming platform available to all creating films, TV shows, documentaries, or webcasts. Over the last 6 months, we have built and have been testing our product. This includes our streaming website, Android and iOS apps currently available in the Google Play Store and Apple Store, Fire TV and Roku TV channels. We validated our solution by conducting approximately 70 one-on-one interviews, by hosting 4 film meetups. In addition, I hosted a focus group of millennial viewers and was surprised with their viewing feedback, but I validated it with Nielsen data. From this, we garnered creator support and have tested what is working and what needs to be improved upon. Our future outlook will be to add chat features to the platform. The independent creators support a subscription-based or a pay-for-slot model. They feel that paying for a platform versus a free platform gives them more credibility and sustains longer viewing times. Some have additionally asked that we add business consultation and distribution services. Additionally, we can create revenue through business advertising and sponsorships. I'm Cheryl Berry, the founder of Our Brand Media. I'm a 20-year media professional and a 10-year financial professional. I'm the creator of Our Brand TV. I'm currently seeking co-founders and partners. I'm currently in discussions with one startup news content creator, and a CTO is forthcoming.
Our intended focus area is going to be the southeastern United States. In Virginia alone, the film industry is worth $400 million. In Georgia, $11 billion. Our future go-to-market strategy would be to launch our own online film festival and to draw the initial interest and attraction. Please follow Our Brand TV, where traditional meets modern, as we continue to grow. Thank you.
That's time.
Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead and unshare your screen, and we'll get you some judge questions. Make sure that you have something to capture the questions. Judges, this time we'll be hearing from Steve, Gary, and Sabrina.
Oh, well, if I'm first, then I guess my question would be, what is it about how you put this media together that differentiates from other people? I mean, there's a lot of that going on. I like the proposition, but I need to understand what the differentiator is.
And Gary?
Similar question. I didn't, well, I'd like to learn more about your value proposition. What is the problem that is current in the market that you're trying to solve?
And finally, Sabrina.
Hi, Cheryl. I'm interested to know more about your users. Specifically, what is your user persona that you're targeting?
And Cheryl, you have 2 minutes. Tim will let you know when your 2 minutes is up. Once you start speaking, you have 2 minutes.
Well, thank you to all of you for your questions. Our key differentiators are it is an independent platform. So it's targeted at independent film creators. It's not homogenous, okay? So a lot of the platforms that you see right now, they're targeted towards only horror, only African Americans, only Africans, only people in, only LGBT. This platform is open to everyone. Okay. If you've got money, you can get on the platform. Even some of the platforms that are in demand, they have a whole criteria and vetting process, and it takes users forever to get through their vetting process and get on the platforms. And I think, in terms of, I think those are my questions. Those are my answers. I know.
Okay.
Cool.
Are we at time, Tim?
We're
Yep.
at time.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I'll wait to hear from the judges, make sure they're good. Rachel's good. Carlton's good. Sabrina, Gary, Sabrina. Awesome. Okay. And our final pitcher, Tori, are you ready?
I'm on mute. Go ahead, share screen.
Yep, go ahead.
Let's do it.
Judges are ready.
Okay, minimize that.
All right, everybody. You ready?
Oh, sorry, 1 second. There we go.
Okay, you
ready?
ready? All right, everybody, please welcome Tori Butler from Scribble.
I can tell you all have been through so much, and one day you're going to tell the story of how you overcame everything that you've been through, and then it'll become someone's survival guide. But that won't happen if death is the first to hear your story. In today's book publishing world, many talented voices are silenced because they lack the adequate support where their voice can be heard and appreciated, leading to less than 1% of writers publishing their work. Specifically, the complexity and the insane cost to publish. The average cost to publish a book is $2,500 per book you write. Though low earnings and royalties, more than 90% of authors won't sell more than 250 copies in their lifetime. And then third, the lack of diversity and access where discoverability cripples an author's success, leading to more than 54% experiencing mental health issues. But through that, there is great news. I introduced Scribble, an inclusive, user-friendly social platform where you can write, publish, and market your book, connect directly with readers, all within a supportive community. With our AI-powered tools and comprehensive literary support, we're taking you from idea to publish. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tori C. Butler. I'm the founder of Scribble and an author. Now let's see how it works. Meet Jennifer. She sees a post about Scribble and has been itching to write her book. So she downloads the app, signs up, and is immediately welcomed by our inclusive community. She's also welcomed by Lexi, her personal AI assistant that is going to help her write, providing support and writing assistance, publish, providing quality services like editing and book cover design, and of course, market, providing market campaigns and analytics, taking her from idea to published affordably, efficiently, and accessibly. Aspiring, independent, and emerging authors, as well as avid readers, are our target market in the vastly growing book publishing industry, which last year was a $28.1 billion value market. Since our MVP launch in July 2023, we've grown to over 19,000 users. We currently have 11 strategic partnerships with publishing companies and 2 partnerships with publishing houses. We acquire 20 to 60 users daily and 2 to 10 new subscribers monthly. We currently offer 2 subscription packages with 109 subscribers. Once we go into product development, we'll expand our B2B rev sharing models and additional B2C service. And of course, our highly experienced and talented team of authors, readers, and our folks in tech, we're ready to scale and bring forth the necessary change so that your story will be someone's survival guide, because Scribble helped you tell it while you were here. Join us as we revolutionize the book publishing industry. Thank you.
That's time.
Okay, thank you. You can unshare your screen. And you're ready to write down some questions from judges?
Let's do it.
Our final 3 we're going to hear from tonight are Rachel, Sabrina, and Carlton. So we'll start with Rachel.
Love it, Tori. My sister is a writer. So my first question is, what's the website so I can send it to her? And then secondly, the pricing model. So I've seen some other type of applications out there that are trying to also figure this out as well. And so I'd love to understand like how you came up with the pricing and what's the value proposition, competitive landscape with these kinds of apps.
And Sabrina?
Hey, Tori. So my question is along the lines of data security. So how are you protecting your users' data right now? And how are you also planning on preventing any sort of copyright or infringement on that side?
And Carlton?
Yeah. So Tori, because I remember this presentation from before, and it seemed pretty interesting. I guess my question centers around, there are other AI tools you can use to help write the book, right? So is your unique proposition the marketing aspect of the book for an author, where everything's in its own platform, has this one platform, but the only other thing it doesn't, or the other sites or your competitors don't do, is the marketing aspect of it? That's what I'm a little confused on. If you can add some clarity to that, I appreciate it.
Okay, so you'll have 2 minutes once you start to answer, and Tim will let you know where time's up.
All right, thank you. And thank you for those questions. Those are great questions. I'm going to try to speed through this as I can. So pricing model, what we try to do, so our competitors, Wattpad, Medium, Substack, we tried to range our pricing around them. Usually the pricing is around $5.99 to around $8.99 for the most basic package. So competitive landscape-wise, we just tried to match that on an entry level. But once we do go into product development, we'll start to spread out our subscription tiers, including our marketplace, as well as other features as well too. But that was the entry level to that. For protecting our users' data, and specifically with the books that they upload. So what happened is the books that are uploaded are already copyrighted for our users and for our authors as well too. So they're protected in that aspect once they come to the platform. And then essentially, Carlos, I think you're pretty much asking what's the secret sauce. You're absolutely correct. With the SaaS piece, that's just a feature. But the secret sauce to what we're doing is the community aspect, and that's the buy-in that we've been able to get on a global scale, from Nigeria to Australia to the state of Oregon, all the way over here to Norfolk, Virginia. That's the secret sauce in building that community and really getting that buy-in from our SMB potential partners, as well as the people that will be using and coming to the platform. But they're all in on it, and I think I answered everything.
The
Oh,
website.
I'm sorry, and thescribbleapp.com was the website. I apologize. Thanks,
That's time.
Okay, thank you. So that concludes our pitching. So thanks everybody. Great job. It was fun to hear them all again because I've heard them all at their infant stages, and it's cool to hear them all again. So I want to hear back from the judges are good. You should have gotten an.
I would just say this was very enjoyable. I've heard a lot of really good pitches from a lot of really good companies and was very enjoyable.
So
Well,
we're gonna.
judges, yeah, if judges look in your private chat,
Yeah.
and there'll be a link. So what's going to happen is you'll leave this webinar, you'll join the other Zoom link, then you all will deliberate. You will be the deciders of the top three pitches that you heard tonight, and each of those in the top three will receive $5,000, and those placing fourth through 12th will get $500. So go ahead, leave this webinar, join that Zoom link
And
that's in your chat.
and judges know when you come back. Once before we make the announcements, we'll give you a chance to um, say just what the kinds of things Steve was saying. You know, how much, what general ideas or thoughts you have for all the competitors, for all the pitchers. So you can be thinking about what you might say in general. It'd be awesome. So you are banished to your judge room. We'll see you later.
Don't banish me, but okay.
We'll just send you away.
We'll whisk you off. And then while they're doing that, everybody, as I mentioned in the intro, we will be joined by Tajir Lewis. There he is.
There he is.
Damn,
Is
the
he still out of the
family.
country? Is he back?
Hey, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, so Tajir, you were a one of the three winners in 2022. And I just want to open this up. This is just going to be a casual conversation. I just talk about what is the premise of Aunt Carol's sauce? You know, just give us the initial journey. How
Tim,
it's
Yeah.
you want to know what the secret sauce is? See what I did there? It's pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah. Tell us
Yeah,
yourself.
I see some familiar faces, and yes, 2022 seems like a very, very long way ago. But I started this business with a promise to my aunt that I would turn her sauce into a business after I graduate from college. At that point in time, I didn't know what entrepreneurship was. I didn't know what it looked like to have a business, and I didn't know what it looked like to even make the sauce, right? So a lot of this stuff was unseen, but I seen it in my mind first, right? So I started from there after my aunt passed away my freshman year of college that I would turn her sauce into a business. So from there, I just started talking to different people and trying to get the resources that I need to turn this business into a reality. And then fast forward in 2022, I graduated college and I fast tracked this business and Start Peninsula definitely moved forward with that business. Because at that time, I didn't even have a mild sauce. Right now, I have two flavors. I have spicy and mild. And at that time, we didn't have a mild in production. So looking in 2024, 2 years later, we have expanded tremendously across the states and internationally, and we have two flavors. So, that was the premise of how we got started.
And you can find, or we all can find your sauces locally in what stores?
Yes, yes. See, there we go. So in 2022, I had literally around I think 20 locations at that time, and we have expanded to over 150 locations since 2022 in a 2 year time span. In April of 2024, we launched in 70 Food Lions in the Hampton Roads area. So we're in all the Hampton Roads Food Lions from Williamsburg all the way down to Chesapeake and Virginia Beach, Suffolk, Yorktown, Portsmouth. But we're in the local section, y'all. So this is our first footprint in corporate America in the grocery chain. This won't be our last one. So we'll keep expanding. So we started off with 70. In the state of Virginia, they actually have 236 locations. All right. So the goal is to get it across in all those locations right now, but you can find us in the local section in the Food Line locations. And we also have some local mom and pop stores and restaurants in the Hampton Roads area, including in different states like Texas, Florida, California, and New York.
It's a shame it wasn't very successful, Tajir.
I know, right? Like, I don't know how it couldn't have been.
Walk us through, but like, how did you get into the Food Lion stores, for example? Like, did you just walk into the store and ask to talk to a manager? How did that work?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Is it really?
No, yeah, it is. So this is what I tell people, right? Like everyone says, like if it doesn't work, don't do it again. But that wasn't the case for me. So, I built this business with the help of my mother from going door to door and selling this sauce. And I kept doing that, right? Everyone's like, you need to get in corporate, you need to do this, that, and the third. But I kept doing what I knew, right? But I knew and I believed in it. I knew it was going to work. So it wasn't just one door, right? It was a couple of doors. And I finally got one. And it was one in Hampton Roads. It was a food line that I always went to. And one day I said, I'm gonna go ahead and pop in there and just see what they say, right? Yes, I did have some faith that was going to work out, but a little bit of me was like, they're just going to tell me no, but you don't know until you ask, that type of thing. And that is exactly true. And one nice guy in there, he allowed me to pitch to him because most of them don't even allow me to pitch. But he allowed me to pitch and he put the sauce on the manager's desk, and I had corporate call my phone the next day that fast. So, it does happen. You just have to keep trying and believe in the unseen.
Wow. What what's next on the radar? Are you looking to expand into more stores or are you expand into more states? What's next?
Yes, so like right now, the mission of expanding is like, okay, we have expanded into over 150 stores. That looks great. We also expanded into Thailand as well, so we're internationally as well. We just got that deal in July of 2024. So right now we're like, okay, I feel like I have a good footprint in the stores that we're in now, and it's like, okay, how can we really put this into a stronghold? Because right now, some people know about Unc Crow sauce in Hampton Roads and other places, but we want this to be like the number one sauce and trying to figure out more creative ways to make sure that this is the number one sauce in every city, state, and locality. So right now, I'm putting on pause of new locations and just buckling down on the current stores that I have now and being more community driven, and figuring out more creative ways to do so.
Any plans to expand beyond the two flavors? You looking to go like atomic or nuclear or what's next?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very what's the word? I guess ambitious as well as spontaneous. Every day I'm like, you know what, maybe I just make a sauce slash drink, like a sauce that people can, dip and drink at the same. So, I try to put some of my aspirations on hold and try to focus on what I currently have. But no, I have like literally a notebook full of different things that I want to do. I just haven't figured out which one I want to pull out next, but it definitely is something coming on in the future.
And how do you handle the manufacturing or like who makes the product now? Where is it bottled and how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. That is the one question that a lot of people don't ask because, when people see it on Food Line or someone sees your product or sit on the Apple Store or see it sitting on a shelf, they really don't know that the behind the scenes that actually makes this stuff work. And it's a lot of work to actually make it work. So in 2022, I just got my co-packer. So when I got my co-packer, I only had enough funds for just getting one flavor, one SKU, because when you get a co-packer, you got to buy in bulk. And that was 3,000 units for me, right? So with the help of Start Peninsula, I was able to get my first run and my second run of my mild and spicy. So I do have a co-packer. A co-packer is a person that manufactures your product, and it is a marriage, right? So you want to make sure who you go with, You trust them and you marry them essentially, but this isn't just a single marriage. You want to have maybe three or four, right? Don't shoot me off here, but you want to have a couple in your arsenal just because you want someone to lean off to. But we have one primary and one secondary just in case something hits the fan. And then from there we have freight shipments. So you can do any freight shipment with any localities, FedEx, some small distributors, but you want to have a good chain of logistics when it comes to shipping. And then you need a team to actually distribute your product. So you can go the distributor route. They will be charging around 30 to 60% of the cost. So it is extremely high depending on who you go with. And some distributors are selective. So nine times out of 10, you might have to do the DSD, which is direct store delivery. So right now I do have a team that handles my delivery. And I've really built a community around that team to really fulfill those. So that's the behind the scenes logistics.
I put the link to your website in the chat over here so people can.
Gary, you're amazing. See, you stay on top of things.
I do. I'm wondering how you expand into Western North Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that happened.
Well, I happen to live here, so maybe we should chat. Because there's a couple of places here that, like the Mass General Store and different places that might pick up stuff like that. I might
Yep,
know some buyers over there.
we love buyers. I love
Well,
talking to buyers.
then connect with me and maybe we'll figure it out.
We're already connected, Gary.
Well, then reach out and we'll do it.
It's done.
Founders,
Okay.
what questions do you have for Tajir?
I first wanted to say it's so nice to see you, Tajir.
It's
Welcome back.
amazing to see you. Yes, thank you, Sharon. Cheryl.
Um, and also, since you're in Western North Carolina, that's where Ingalls corporate
Mm,
office is, and maybe I pass some info to you there. But I really want to know because I was following you on TikTok. How did you connect? How did you make your international contract deal?
yeah, that one was really by chance. It was I was already in the area and I was doing what I do best, talking to people, and I found some connections. And honestly, business overseas is much easier than business in the States. What I found out, the United States is very entrepreneur driven, and everyone over there, I wouldn't call them not business oriented, but if you have a plan, everyone's willing to listen. So when I went over there, I found an outlet where I can actually be online to sell. And now I'm working on getting some footprints inside of their local stores as well. So honestly, it was easier than expected. The hardest thing is just getting the product over there. So next steps now is actually getting the product made there, and it'll be much, much cheaper. So yeah, it was honestly easy.
Have you looked at, by chance, have you looked at Virginia? There's grant money available for import export, primarily exporting internationally.
I haven't, Tim, and that's why I'm here now. So yeah, I definitely will. I'll reach out to you for some more information.
Yeah, we can definitely chat. Any other questions that any of the founders have?
I have a question, which probably hits all of us who are entrepreneurs, is were there dark times when you just wanted to give up? And how
Oh,
did you get past those?
absolutely. It's plenty of them, right? A lot of founders in here actually know one of those. And they actually helped me get through one of those actually. So when I launched in the Food Lion, I had 70 locations on the day of my launching. I had a team help me try to distribute my product to all the Food Lions, and my barcodes did not work, right? My barcodes were too small for the print. So what did that mean? I had 6,000 units to distribute, and I had to relabel 6,000 units because didn't have enough money to relabel or rebuy product. And the team at Assembly helped me relabel those bottles for me to distribute. So
Wow.
in that moment, I wanted to give up, right? Because I've been relabeling packing sauce for a long time and I did not want to do that again. And I had all but 7 days to do that. So without the support of my community and the people at Assembly, especially Tori, while he's on here as well, we were there cutting labels out and sticking them on bottles. Downtown Norfolk, yes. So those was a recent one that I wanted to talk about.
It's like the magic is happening. Like Just got a couple text messages, so we'll get you. We got people contacting me about the import, about the export program. So I'll we'll share all that. So thanks for the audience members who are watching
Yes,
here
thank y'all.
online. Hannah, you had a question?
Yeah, I did have a question. So did you know anything about business prior to starting your company? And if not, what was that journey for you?
Oh,
Like,
I knew nothing. I mean, nothing could Selch. I mean, honestly, I didn't even know where to start from. My like literally my initial starting point was buying bottles on Amazon. Didn't do any profit loss analysis, numbers. Even when I started making the sauce, recreating it, I didn't even write it down on sheet paper. I just kept making it off of taste. So that could tell you something right there. So for 2, 3 years, I had to keep tasting the sauce before I made it. So yeah, no, I didn't do anything quote unquote right, but I still made it right. So the journey was long, but it was so enjoyable. I learned so much that I think I wouldn't have learned if I had everything handed to me. Granted, it is better to come prepared. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So, I would like to actually prepare for future existence. But no, yeah, like it was trying trial and error. But I knew that it was going to make it. I just didn't need to understand the how. I just did it, right? So, when you have a food product, for instance, you need to have a nutritional panel. I didn't even know that until someone told me, right? So I just had stickers with our logo on it selling to stores, and someone's like, "Hey, you need a nutritional panel." I said, "You know what? Okay, let me figure out how to get one." So it was really just trial and error until I got to this place where I'm at now.
wow, thank you.
You left out the
Thank you for the
best part that
question.
you do it, you trying to figure out the proper ingredients and taste in your dorm room,
Yeah.
less. I think is just so funny.
Yo, it's hilarious. I mean, even my roommates at the time, they were like, "What is he doing?" I'm asking them how does it taste. They don't even know how it's supposed to taste. So whatever I'm giving to them, they're like, "It's good." So yeah, it's a story. It's a true story. I'm leaving out a lot, but the gist was I didn't know what I was doing. But now I'm in a corporate store and still growing nationally and internationally by something that I didn't even know how to start.
So is Tori helping you with your book?
He hasn't. I don't know why he hasn't reached out. He's not a good homie. I don't understand. I
How
don't
many,
understand.
I'm curious, how many units do you sell in a week from any of the locations? Like,
Some out
is it a puts on the shelf and it's gone in a day, or is it a week or 2 weeks or what?
some stores are like that, some are not. Food Line is we're still trying to grow to have that imprint to keep flying off the shelf. We do have 4 stores in particular in the Hampton Roads that does fly off the shelf weekly. And we put about 2, 3 cases a week on those store shelves and they fly. And it's really, to mention that we are at a price point that typically is high for our competitors and we still sell, right? Even our store owners are like, how are you selling, right? And it's really the community aspect, from sitting in stores and really promoting myself, like sitting in a store for 6 months and telling them like, hey, this is my product. And then 6 months later, it's flying off the shelf at $10 a bottle, right?
Mhm.
So it wasn't so much about the price point or the product itself. It was just getting people to know and understand the story behind it. Because once they understand the story and brand behind it, they buy and it's showcasing. If my price point was a little bit lower, we probably could fly off the shelf. But in some of those stores where we actually see the turnaround in our community and the people that know our brand, we do fly off the shelf weekly. And I can name some of the stores as well. So Grand International in Virginia Beach, if you're in that area, that is a top store. E-Mart as well, that's a top store. They have a location in Virginia Beach and in Newport News. And Graham Rollins in Hampton Roads is Fresh Seafood Market. So those stores in particular are really showcasing, the brand story.
What's the what's the most popular flavor between the two?
Yeah, and that's a great, yeah. So spicy is our top flavor, but people are so scared to try it. So, our demographic does not like spicy until they try our spicy. It's not like terribly hot, like at all. But people are like, oh, I don't, it's in a red bottle. So Until they try it, then the spicy is. But then if they never tried it before, they would just stick to the mild. But you have to get them to try it. So like when you do sampling, samplings are so important because once they try, they can try what they like and continue buying.
Hajir, did you participate in Food Lion's supplier diversity program?
No, I actually didn't. I didn't even know they had one.
They have.
Thank you, Cheryl. That's why I come talk to you.
So when you were tasting the sauce in your dorm room, did your tongue go numb from tasting the spicy sauce the whole time?
Yeah, I don't even like spicy. Yeah, I can't even take spicy. Like it's yeah, I can't do it. So yeah, it was terrible. Honestly, I can't even lie. But because my cousin was like, this is not spicy enough. I'm like, it's spicy to me. So I had to keep going. And I was trying this sauce on empty stomach sometimes where I didn't even eat some mornings because I had to make sauce. So from doing that, like I got numb to it. I even remember trying to make the seasoning for something. You got to blend the seasoning up. And my nose was bleeding because I didn't have a face mask on because it's so potent. So you just gotta protect yourself. So yeah, no, I got numb. Definitely got numb.
Cool. What an inspiring story. I just think it's really cool.
Thank you, Gary. I should
And
inspire
we
myself.
we knew you when.
Right?
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's pretty cool. Wow.
What advice do you give to everybody pitching or in the audience tonight?
Advice. Ooh, I got all encouragement. So, like I kept stating over this conversation is like really believing in the unseen. A lot of the stuff that, people believe in, they have to see it first. As business owners and entrepreneurs, we have to trust in what we don't see currently. We have to really have faith in what we believe it can become. And no matter what, we have to hold on to that, even during the dark times, the light times. Like we just need to remember that, we have this vision in our head and it will come to pass. So, trusting in the things that you don't see currently, because a lot of the stuff I didn't see myself doing, like in 2018, 2022, I didn't think I'll make it on a corporate shelf. I saw it in my mind. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I kept saying it, and then finally it came to pass and it happened fast, right? Like I went in there and then next day corporate called me, right? But over the course of 5 years, I had no way of seeing step by step, right? So it doesn't matter about the step by step. It just matters about having that end goal in mind and holding strongly to it. That's the best encouragement slash advice I can give. And I'm always here as a resource as well.
Hmm. What is the thing that you turn to when you get punched in the gut or punched in the face to brush yourself off?
Oh man, it's bigger than me, right? It's super bigger than me. Like I've made this, and I guess it's different. Like my why was I made a promise to my aunt, right? So it's not just me for this business, like it's a piece of her as well. So, I'm not just giving up on myself, but then it's like, okay, the people that supported me along the way, the people that gave me encouragement, the people that listened to my pitch, right? All of these things add up because now it's like it's not just about me anymore. It's bigger than myself. So remembering that is once you know that it's bigger than yourself, the stuff that you come across that just attacks you or you take personally, it won't hurt you anymore because now it's like it's not against me, right? It's something that is thousands of people is behind me and supporting me, and I can't stop now.
Does that kind of success with people helping you like that, does that give you an even stronger, I guess, understanding of what it means to be a mentor to someone else?
That is really good, Gary. Yes, it does. It does. But it's two sides to it, right? Like, you don't want to just be breathing off encouragement for other people, right? Because once they boo you or something happens, then where are you at, right? But getting mentors, like it is super important. But also having like that side of you and trusting in your vision, like it's two parts to this, right? It's your own vision that you have and what you've seen and then the people that come along the way is added, right? It's not just the people that help you because for the first year or so I couldn't get a store. I kept going door to door. I'm like, man, why is no one putting my sauce in stores? So like it's a process, right?
Yeah, so I guess my question was even more focused was does it make you a more impassioned mentor to other people to realize
Okay.
because you were helped so much, does that turn something inside you to say, you know what? I need to be thinking about other people and how I can help them to be successful because I know how scary it was when there wasn't a whole lot of help,
Yeah,
right?
no, yeah, right. No, I fully understand. Copy that. Yeah. So, yeah, like anything I have to give is just like I'm an open book now because I couldn't have got here by myself, right? It's been a really tough journey. It's still a hard journey, but it's a journey that's worthwhile. So, yeah, so when it comes to other people, like even when I don't have time, you still try to make time because now you have more empathy because you actually been through it for yourself.
Yeah.
And when you have that large empathy, it's so hard to say no, or not to give time to other people.
Yeah.
Well, you all
Wow.
must have, the pitchers must have done a really good job because they are still deliberating. We've got they've two of the three have been determined
Yes.
Yeah.
from my text message, my inbox here that
They have. Yes, they have sent us two smoke signals so far. So we're just waiting on the third smoke signal.
it
Yeah.
Tajir, I do want to ask you a question. So what is your ultimate goal with Aunt Carol sauce? Where do you see it going in the future?
That's a really good question. Thank you for asking the question as well. It's ever so changing, evolving. I get more ambitious every single day, more outlets that I want to do. But like buckling down on the main vision that I had when I started this business was, that what my aunt gave me wasn't just the sauce, right? She gave me a place where me and my family could gather around and having that sense of love that I felt growing up with my family. And the mission from the start was bringing that to other people. I think the judges are back now, but that was the premise, is just making sure that the same feelings that I had, I continue to try to give that to other people through different outlets, whether it's in an international premise or local.
well, congratulations to you on all the
Yeah. Wow.
success
What
that
a
you've
great story.
had. And we're here rooting for you and doing whatever we can to continue to push you along and keep your journey moving forward. So thank you so much and for sharing your story. Very, very cool.
Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yeah,
So
and I suggest in case any of the judges who are back, if you've not heard Tajir's story, he just shared a bunch with us, and like go back and listen to the replay, at least of the last part. It's really inspiring. Um, yeah, I mean, Tim and I were with him at the beginning when it was a dream, and then to see it 2 years later and hear him talking about it was awesome. So really, really inspiring.
thank you so much, Tajir. So
Yeah,
judges,
thanks.
you're back. Any any general feedback without giving away any wins, any winners?
I have the answers here,
Oh,
but
well, I want to hear from the judges really
I
quick.
know I do too. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the presentations were great. You all would not have been here if you didn't get to a certain level and have gone through a number of competitions. So thank you for taking the time to come here tonight. I'm gonna tell you, this was a pretty intense deliberation process. So there was no easy button here, but I think that the effort you all put into it really showed on tonight. So thank you for your time, and I really see a lot of good opportunities for you all in the future.
I really agree with that. I think everybody did a really good job of presenting some really compelling ideas. It's why I like working with startups the way, like I do every day, is because of people like you're willing to go out there and do it. So great job. Keep in mind, always gotta, live and die by your customer. Keep in mind who your customer is and take care of your customer. That's always the job you have. Number one job you have.
And I would just add, just from an investor perspective, um, just always know who you're pitching to. Obviously, you have a lot of us on here, so it's a bit difficult to kind of know the personas and like everybody's background and things. But as you continue to keep thinking about like your investors, are they the right investor? Do I want to have them on the cap table? Do they get what I'm doing? Are they with me for the long haul? And do I even need them right now? And can I make a business without them? So just keep those things in mind. But overall, everyone did a great job. It definitely was a very hard decision to make. But at the end, you all will be winners. So that's what's most important as well, too.
Great. Sabrina.
I'm so glad I got the opportunity to see you all pitch today. This is my first pitch competition ever. It was a really interesting opportunity to be able to see you all. From a tech perspective, just definitely understand if you are doing a technical solution, how to protect your ideas and also how to approach scaling. I think that you all have some really interesting ideas out there and looking into some really big industries that are going to have a lot of opportunities in the future for growth. I thought it was an amazing opportunity to be here today. So appreciate you.
Thank you. Steve, any closing comments that you want to give to the pitchers?
Closing comments. I just got here. Um, so, I thought
We haven't announced any winners, so don't do that.
I'm not going to do that because that's not my job. Um, it's somebody else's job. But what I will say is that I thought the quality of the pitches was really high. And although, of course, we have to make a selection because that's our job, um, I, I I think that everybody did a really, really, really good job. And obviously the judges and I had a knockout drag out, quite frankly, on some of this because there were so many good candidates. And so I think everybody should just know that was the case. And yeah, so I'll just leave it at that.
Thanks, Steve. So we're before we announce the winners, the top three will get $5,000. Others will get 500. There's another additional prize that we'll share. Sabrina, do you want to let the pitchers know?
Oh, a surprise
Yeah,
for
so
us? Like we
Yeah.
get
not for the
candies or
judges.
chocolates
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
What do we get?
Yeah, as I've mentioned before, I'm from 757 CoLab, specifically a startup studios. I'm a program manager there. So we were really excited to be able to partner with Pitch Peninsula and Innovate Hampton Roads to be able to fast track admissions into the incubator and capital readiness programs to all the 12 finalists today. So beginning immediately, all finalists will be able to attend any of the programming at 757 Startup Studios and continue to make progress on their ideas, and additionally have access to the incubator and capital readiness programs. So we just wanted to announce that before the winners today.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, I think, that's what you guys are all about. You
Thanks,
know,
Sabrina.
uh,
We work
yeah.
very hard trying to continue to build the ecosystem, to build the tools and resources for everybody. So yeah, super happy about that and super grateful to CoLab and everybody within CoLab to open that up and offer that to the founders. So we'll continue to work really, really hard to continue to add more and more resources, bring awesome judges that are super passionate, that want to help you all along the way. We'll share the contact information. I would take the judges up on their offer to help. And Gary, I have no idea who won, so
Well,
I will
we
turn
need
this
to have
over to you.
we need to have our picture. So we need Marian, Tajir, and Walt to get back on their cameras. And Tim takes our picture.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
If you're not looking at your camera, the camera can't see you. So looking at Tim in the bottom right corner means your picture will be like this. So you tell us when you're ready, Tim. One, two,
All
and
right,
three.
I'm ready.
Waiting
Well,
for Walt.
you guys did a great job today. Thank you.
Oh,
Well, thank
thanks.
you.
Yeah, is Walt there? Walt.
Hmm.
I need to fix I need to fix my hair. Give me a second.
I switched to my phone.
I already fixed my hair, Carlton, so I'm ready to. I don't know. Is Walt going to come back, or I
You
guess
know,
we'll just get a
we got to
picture?
do these pictures like we joke. We got
I,
to do these pictures before we announce the
I,
winners because everybody is
I,
still smiling.
I guess you don't
Yeah.
need to fix your hair, do you?
The virtual background does nothing for my hair.
It wasn't
All right.
about you. I
You
was talking
cannot
about
see.
Walt, really.
Well,
I was
whatever.
thinking that, he's like Mike Loving, my business development guy. Like he's basically bald. And so there's no need to fix your hair. Yeah, but
All right.
So,
Let's
so Walt has disappeared now. So
we'll Photoshop
he's
him
coming
in.
back. Here he
Oh, there
comes.
he is.
We need you on camera, Walt, so we can get your picture. Okay, we're ready, Tim.
All
Everybody look
right.
at your camera.
1, 2, 3. Come on, Walt, work with me.
I'm ready.
All right, we'll try. We'll try one more. 1, 2, 3.
And also, Tim, I just want to say it's always been a pleasure working with you.
Likewise, likewise.
And my buddy Mike works with you more than I do, but it's good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Everyone here has the give before you get mentality. So
Yep.
that's what
Okay,
makes it all work.
everybody ready?
Let's do it. I'm excited.
All right. These are not in any order. It's just this is randomly the top three, right?
That is correct.
Our first winner. Tori Butler with Scribble.
Man, don't look too happy.
Right.
Corey, come
Yeah,
on.
not hearing a lot of stuff there, but okay.
Yeah. It's the
Congrats.
Hollywood thank you for the Tony. It's that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
okay. Next one. Walt Smithers with Romulus Media. And Walt is frozen. Oh, now he's moving. Perfect.
I can't see any of these people, but okay.
Okay. And our last one. Are you ready? Oh, tension
Yep.
music. Tension
Yep.
music. Crystal Lugo with BNC's gloves.
Well, congratulations, everybody. It's just one step along the way. Congratulations to you all. Everybody has won. Complete those forms and send them to me so that way we can get payments processed to everybody. But would like to thank City of Newport News, James City County, York County, City of Williamsburg, Hampton, Poquoson for making this possible. If it would not happen without their support, they support entrepreneurship. They make it happen. So thank you so much to our judges. Thank you. We would not be able to do this without you either. So Rachel, Steve, Sabrina, Carlton, Gary, all the judges that we had the previous four micro pitches. Thank you so much. Gary, thank you. Emmanuel, thank you. Dan Gerard, thank you. Uh, we couldn't do it without you. Applications are open for next year, so please apply for next year.
Yep.
I'm here to help.
Congrats, everybody.
Thank you so
I
much.
I would also just want to
Great.
say that you guys have some awesome ideas, and they're all awesome. And that when we judge this kind of stuff and vet it out, we're not saying anything negative. I was really super impressed, and I'd like you to all continue with your ideas. And to the extent that I could provide any free advice, which is what I do a lot of, happy to do that. But I mean, basically, really, really strong cadre of companies here, right? So, I mean, you guys are doing it. You guys are winning it. And so is Tim Ryan. and so is Gary. And you need to just keep moving forward because this is not a positive or a negative. It's I didn't hear anything bad today, really.
I agree. I agree. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
You
you,
too.
judges. Thank you. Great
Have a
job.
good evening.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.